Cremations involve breaking down the human body into tiny bone fragments that resemble ashes. Here are some of the most common reasons why a family may choose cremation services for a loved one instead of burying them in a cemetery plot. Affordability. Burying a person is much more expensive than cremation services. Aside from the funeral services, you have to pay for a plot, a gravestone, and to prepare the body. In the end, you may end up spending over $7,000. Cremation services can cost less than half of what you pay for a burial. You don't have to worry about where the remains will be laid to rest, and cremation urns are much cheaper than a casket. If you're working on a small budget, it's much easier than trying to plan funeral services. As a bonus, the money you saved can go towards more important things. This may include reorganizing your budget or making big financial decisions after the loss of your loved one. Easy to plan. Another of the many reasons to cremate is that they're easy to plan. Cremation plans usually involve the cost of cremation and whatever urn you're placing them in. Past that, you can also pay for a place to store the urn, or if you want to buy a burial plot for the remains. You don't need to invite people to a burial service at a cemetery. Urns can be purchased online. Some people even bring their own containers to store the remains. More options. Aside from the casket and grave marker, families only have so many options when it comes to burials. They can pick a place for the dearly departed, such as a burial plot or a mausoleum. One of the common reasons to choose cremation is because what you can do with the remains. Some people can get really creative with how they store or present their loved ones. You don't need to stick them inside an urn that sits on a shelf. For example, you can store the remains inside of a pendant and keep them close to you at all times. Others have found ways to integrate the remains inside of decorative art glass pieces. Religious reasons. There are some religions that are heavily opposed to cremation, such as Judaism or Catholicism. Some churches believed that cremation would impede resurrection. However, there have been changes in recent decades regarding how strictly people adhere to their religious texts. Additionally, there are practices and teachings like Buddhism that freely allow cremation. In fact, many Buddhists choose cremation because the Buddha was cremated. Hinduism is one of the few religions that mandate cremation as a last rite. It's believed that the body is presented as an offering to the Hindu god of fire to purify the deceased. Flexible arrangements. One of the problems with burials is that you have a limited amount of time to arrange them. A body can only be kept for up to 6 weeks at a funeral home. During that time, you may struggle to arrange a memorial service or find the money to afford it. In contrast, cremation services are quick and allow for more flexibility. Direct cremation can happen a few days after a person has died. You can take home the remains in any suitable container, whether it's an urn or Tupperware. This is helpful if your desired urn hasn't been delivered yet or if you're still looking for one. Lone Star Cremation can help you get started on your cremation arrangements. We believe in making the process simple, convenient, and low cost. Contact us to book an appointment and begin your cremation plans. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.